Hey y'all, welcome into From the East Side, TexAgs student podcast for students by students. If you're wondering why our setup looks a little bit different this week, well, I'll tell you why. We spent our entire budget getting Kay Nagley a new gym membership, so we got kicked out of the studio and had to come film out here at Ticket Pool.
It's okay though, because I like to work out and you look like a scrawny Max Wright with a bad mustache and a bad hairdo. So I'll let you try to go off for a moment. Anyways, we are sitting out here at Ticket Pool. We got to interview a bunch of students ahead of the New Mexico kickoff. We also talked to the infamous Cold Chedda about his newest highlight reel. Sat down with Cavin to talk some volleyball, and then Kylie Stoner to talk some soccer.
Go check it out.
We are sitting down with Daniel, class of 2025, out here at Ticket Bowl. All right, we are sitting down here with Wyatt, class of 25.
Hey y'all, we're here with Carson, class of 26. He's in the core.
Howdy, we are here with Jackson, class of 2025.
Hey y'all, we're sitting down with Trey, class of 25.
All right, we are here with Caitlin, class of 25.
Hey y'all, we're sitting down with Owen, class of 25. So what are your thoughts on QB1 announcement, Connor Weigman?
You know it's coming. It was only a matter of time. Really, really excited. I think he's going to have a breakout year, having consistency at the line. And, he's got all the weapons he needs around him to have major, major success this year.
He's Connor Heisman, bro. Throwing dots.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I trust him. He played really well last year.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I know it was definitely a tough battle, but I'm excited to see him out there.
A lot of expectations for Texas A&M coming in with Bobby Trino and all the weapons coming back. Do you have a record prediction for the Ags?
I have a few.
Okay.
I've got my Kool-Aid prediction that I have just about every year, and the ceiling I think realistically can be 12-0. If you take a step back and put everything into perspective, I think it realistically can be 10-2. That 10-2, 9-3 range is where I see legitimately us falling this year.
Man, obviously, I'd like to say, going to the college football playoff, but something I've always learned to have is something my dad taught me is shoot for 500, and if we go above it, that's great, meet expectations, but, if we go below, can't be super mad about that. So, obviously, gotta be shooting a little bit higher than 500, so hoping to get up in double digits, go get a hopefully New Year's Six bowl. So hopefully that'd be the goal. If we can tan out some of those issues that we've had in past seasons.
Optimistic. I want to say something like in the 10-2, 11-1 realm, but realistically, probably 9-3.
We can be really optimistic. I think up there, like Owen said, 10 wins maybe. Expectations are low after last year. I'm hoping we make a bowl game, but high ceiling. I think with Petrino's offense that he had at Arkansas State before he decided to leave and what he had at Arkansas before that scandal, I think we might be able to go, but expectations are kind of low based off the past couple of years, but the ceiling's always high.
Yeah, well, who's your favorite player on the team?
It's got to be Edrin Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
Me and him go way back.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Any
awesome.
fun Edrin Cooper stories?
I got one here. So I met him on Twitter one day.
Okay.
He posted a thing asking to go hog hunting. We got a ranch about an hour from here. So I took him hog hunting
No
with us.
way.
And we blew up hogs with tannerite. And I don't know if y'all got TikTok, but I posted on there. Got 2 million views.
Oh, my God.
My favorite player is Anais Smith. He's just absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited to see him come back this season.
I would have to say
There's a lot of good guys.
I would say Evan Stewart. Evan Stewart definitely is a guy that I just love watching play. Followed him in high school and just is a super playmaking guy and honestly just really seems to take to that stardom and just always is making incredible plays. Super awesome, super fun to watch. Super excited to see what he does with Connor Weigman this season.
Ooh, that's a tough question. Oh, put me on the spot like that. If I could give you about 20,
You could do
I easily
offense,
could.
defense if you wanted.
Oh, man. I don't know. There's a lot of guys that I really, really like, and I have for years. Max Wright is just through and through an Aggie all the way to his core. Always root for that guy since he came back here in, I believe, 2018. I love Evan Stewart. I think legitimately is going to make his case as the best wide receiver in football this year. On the defensive side of the ball, a guy that I was extremely, extremely excited when we signed him was Shamar Stewart. Loved that guy since he was in high school. Kept up with him back then. So I guess if those were the two guys, I'd have to say it was them.
I don't know. I like Damani a lot. I think he brings a lot of energy to the team. And, him coming back for another year, it's a really big leadership role for him. And he just plays with so much energy and enthusiasm.
My favorite player on the team. So, not on the team anymore, but I gotta say Devon A-Chain from last year.
Yeah.
He was great. Loved watching him. And one of his last games, he actually came to the Chedda's where I work, and I had him at my table with his agent, flipping through his whole binder for the NFL, talking about everything. And it was his agent and his mom was sitting with him in the back corner booth because he's really shy. He really didn't want to be a normal person. And his whole family, his dad, they were all there at the table next to him, and it was a great time.
Probably Moose Muhammad, just because he has the single coolest name in the game.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah,
That's
we
an
love
awesome
Moose.
name.
Which game are you most looking forward to and why?
Hands down, Alabama.
Yeah.
Again, that's a really loaded question because there's multiple. I think the obvious answer is Bama, just because it's
Bama.
Potentially, it has massive implications for SEC West standings. You look at it, we're supposed to be, by then, if everything goes chalk, we're undefeated into that game. Hopefully game day comes, big atmosphere like always when Bama comes to town. But I think Tennessee and Miami, I'll be going to both of those, are going to be really, really good times.
Nice.
Probably Alabama.
I'm looking forward most to Alabama. It's always a great game.
So what do you do to pass the time here at Ticket Pool?
So tonight we're actually doing a thing called PowerPoint night. We just do presentations with our friends about any random topic.
Pass time at Ticket Pool? Well, procrastinating homework for one. Just get to know my fellow Aggies.
Nice.
Honestly, a lot of homework. I think it's probably one of the more productive spots I think I see. I get distracted a lot just being with other guys around the dorm. But homework, texting a lot of people, just catching up with a lot of people. I worked at a summer camp this past summer, so catching up with a lot of guys from the summer and just really trying to have some friends come by, some of my buddies in Squadron 17 come by. Really helps make the time pass away. But honestly, I think the time goes by pretty fast whenever we're realizing we're getting ready to beat the hell out of New Mexico.
Well, last night when I pulled my tickets, I'm out here with friends doing theirs. This is the second one.
He just does this for fun.
This is the second one of the week. Passing time typically consists of doing homework assignments that are due at midnight. That same night, or playing dominoes.
I mean, yeah, we like to pop up the projector, play a little bit of NCAA on the PS3, some Madden if we're able to bring out one of the newer consoles. But we like to have a good time, pass the time, talk to all the people around us, get to know the other Aggies.
So usually my freshman year when I pulled a lot, it was always cornhole. We'd bring cornhole boards out here. One night I kept a tally. I played 72 games.
Oh, my goodness.
And but yeah, usually it's cornhole. And today we bought a projector and playing NCAA. That game winning touchdown, all I got to say is Tom's from Australia. I can't let him come here and win.
Yeah.
I was down 6 points, 9 seconds. Just had to do it.
All right. Kind of a fun question. Would you eat Rev's kibble for an entire week if A&M won SEC championship?
I'd eat for a month.
He's like, I'm down. I'm ready.
down.
That's awesome.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's not even a question.
If we won an SEC championship, I think I would.
You would?
I think I would. I mean,
It's dedication, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, I think I could. I
Yeah.
mean, what are the macros looking like on that? Is the protein intake pretty good?
Yeah.
I mean,
we have to ask Rev. I don't know.
Absolutely. Let's see what that looks like.
I mean, probably yes. I
Probably?
want us to win, so
Yeah.
I'm a dedicated fan.
Nice.
Oh, man.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, I
Be
don't know.
kind of a lot.
I don't know about that. Is it the wet kibble or just dry kibble?
That's a good question.
Nobody's asked us that
Yeah,
yet.
I know. That's kind of a deciding thing. Maybe you could pick.
I
I don't know which
know.
would be better.
I mean, I'd probably do dry kibble.
Yeah.
If
It's
anything,
just
the wet
easier to-
stuff's just gross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Why
Like
not?
easy? What about national championship? How long would you go? Like a month?
How long do I need to go?
Wet or dry kibble though? That's the main question. Would you do either?
I think maybe if you do either, maybe a little too much, but you can start with dry and then wash it down for a little wet.
Yeah.
I'd eat it for a month.
The same response. Dry or wet kibble?
Why not both?
Oh,
okay.
my gosh.
He's ready to do that. That's awesome.
So within reason, what is the craziest thing you do for an A&M national championship?
Oof. I'd probably get a tramp stamp of Jimbo Fisher's face.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, is it cold in here?
Luke, stop being so cheesy.
Speaking of cold and cheesy, we've got Cold Chedda coming up.
All right, we are sitting down here with Gordon Wilson, class of 2023, will be graduating in December, but some of you may know him as the infamous Cold Chedda, makes highlight videos for A&M. So Gordon, just first off, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Gordon. I'm graduating December, just a little late to the party. I thought it would be better to have one more tailgate season after last year. So, and I'm a agricultural leadership and development major. Excited to be here, guys. I'm really appreciative of you getting on the show. I mean, this is like the new thing now.
Yeah, apparently. So tell us how you got the name Cold Chedda.
So I came up with it in like the 7th grade with one of my buddies, and it was just like we were joking around, like making nicknames for each other. And I think it was like my YouTube, like basic like username that just like stuck there. And I posted my first like video when I was maybe like 14, like right before freshman year of high school, and that was the name of the account. So I just stuck with it. It's kind of come back to haunt me because if I bring it up to anybody now as a 22-year-old boy, you have to tell them that your YouTube name is Cold Chedda, and it's like, you make highlights. Like, how can I look you up? I'm like, it's
not my name.
Yeah, it's something else, But it's it's a unique name. So I mean, I like that aspect
I would
of
say
it.
it's a cooler name. So obviously, video dropped this week.
Yeah.
Kind of take us through your inspiration to it. You have these different themes every time you do it. How do you come up with those, and then just where you wanted the video to go?
The whole video process is, I mean, I'm no professional video creator, editor, or anything like that. This is just like a hobby of mine, and I had this idea a few months ago where I could be in the woods, and there was just like this TV standing in the middle. I wanted to be able to, kind of zoom in on some old A&M highlights and whatnot. And I had this idea, and it did not come to fruition, but I wanted to eventually light the TV on fire, just kind of adding like a little effect. I mean, I have a lot of big ideas. Some of them work out, some of them don't. We actually, when we were recording it like about a week or so ago, we created this, I don't know if I should say with the burn ban. We didn't burn anything, but we created this little water gun flamethrower. And I probably shouldn't say how we made it, but let's just say it didn't work out. Idea was there, execution was not, but, I just wanted to do something that hadn't been done before, kind of put my own twist on it. But, I thought it was okay in the end, just I wanted to try something new, so.
Yeah, well, we loved it, and it's obvious that a lot of work goes into it. So what brings you back every year? It seems like, Cold Chedda, he might be retired, he might not be bringing it back, and then every year you drop it. So what keeps bringing you back?
I think, honestly, like, the reason I started making them was just because, I mean, I just like A&M so much. I mean, I love this university. Both my parents came here, and they got married at the Methodist Church next to Northgate. So, I mean, it just every little thing, growing up, learning about the traditions of school. It's not really like, I just enjoy making them, I feel like I was thinking about it the other day. It's kind of a way I can express my, love and gratitude to the university. And, I guess some people like them, so that's a little plus too if, I get some feedback every once in a while. But
speaking of that feedback, I mean, there's a lot of anticipation, it seems like, for this video to drop every year. Is that a lot of pressure on you, like from the Aggie community?
I'll tell you guys, I've never felt like any pressure, like making these videos before. The past like 2.5 weeks, I've been stressing out, like big time. There's so many like little things going into it, so many things that, I was trying to make happen. Some things, didn't work out, but I mean, it was like the past week I've just, been on my computer trying to make sure every little detail is right, trying to, just the logistics of the whole project. I'd just even like filming the actual TV, like, going in, that took like 4 hours because just like, extension cables, that kind of thing. I mean, it's little stuff, but, and then having people tweet at you nonstop. I love it, but, it started to catch on, in the past few days. I was getting a little antsy, but, it's, everyone's been super kind and, nice online, and I really do appreciate that. So that's, just Aggie's being nice to another Aggie. So
Good. So we heard a lot of familiar voices on the video. We got Cullen Gillespie and Buddy Johnson. Take us through the process of what it's like to get those guys on.
So back in high school when I had like a separate Cold Chedda Twitter before some copyright music took it down, but I had made Buddy like a highlight video, and I used to, when I was like a freshman, sophomore, at A&M, I'd run into him every once in a while, and he's just a nice guy. I mean, I like to call him my buddy. So he's just a sweet guy. I reached out to him and was like, hey man, I got this idea for a project, would you be down? He was like, of course, man, like anything you want, like just let me know what you need. And he was easy to work with. And Colin, same thing. I made him a little, like, I think it was like my senior year of high school. I made him like a fullback. It was some kind of Barstool like fullback of the year award little video, and I made that for him. And I actually over the summer, I knew one of his friends that he used to, I guess he used to know back in school. So I reached out to her. He got in contact with him, and I kind of like sent her a whole note. I was like, hey, can you send this to Colin? Like, this is what I'm thinking. And she didn't respond for a few hours, and she had told me that she like reached out to him, and then I texted her. I was like, he probably doesn't know me by Gordon. Can you tell him like Cold Chedda? And she's like, yeah, no problem. And then like a minute later, he's like, oh yeah, like I got you, dude. Like, no way, like no worries. So yeah, he was super helpful. Like last minute, I had him do a couple extra things, and he's just a good guy. Just the embodiment of the 12th man. Good representation. So.
Heck yeah. So for those who have seen the video or haven't, what's your favorite part of the Cheers video?
Honestly, the favorite part of the video I would think is, it's hard to beat the hype part, like when everything's going real fast, the anticipation, you see Kyle Field, you see the crowd going crazy, you've got Anais, Evan Stewart, Moose Muhammad, that's always a good part. Like a little baby part of it that I really enjoyed was, like when we were talking about trying to light the TV on fire, we had a flame next to the TV, and it kind of, you can kind of see it like show like on the TV, like, like the lights flare and whatnot. But, when that shows up and they've got like the little bonfire, clips right at the end, I thought that was kind of the idea I've had for about a month or two now. And I actually getting to see that, become a thing was, it was pretty cool. And I enjoyed that. But personally, that's just me. So
yeah. Well, that was my favorite part of the video too. There was a lot of emotion building, and that scene with the fire was really impactful.
That was the goal. So I'm glad to hear someone else. That's the first time I've talked to somebody about it. So I appreciate it, Luke.
Yeah. Who would you say is like the most famous or notable person that like has recognized your videos, has like shown love to you, or that you've gotten to meet throughout this whole process?
I would say, I had made a couple of videos for, Eric McCoy, like the center of the Saints, and Donovan Wilson on the Cowboys. That was back then, and they were super nice and grateful. Like an OG kind of guy. I wouldn't even say he's I wouldn't say he's not famous, but Connor McQueen. I talked to him through a friend over the summer, and it was cool to just kind of say what's up again. But he's like an A&M legend in my eyes, so I think that's the coolest guy in general. I had a Manziel retweet once, but
hey, there you go.
No, we don't. Yeah, humble bragger.
So speaking of little humble brags, I guess you could say, we heard that you finessed your way or something of that sort into the Orange Bowl. Could you just take us into that story a little bit?
So it was, I guess it was 2020, right at the end of 2020 when we were going to go play in Miami against North Carolina. Me and three of my buddies, we went on a trip to go to the game, and it was during COVID, so it was a little weird, like when we got to Miami, there's, you have to wear a mask everywhere, like everything's shut down. So we weren't sure exactly how the game was going to go. But a couple days before, I was like, I might as well just see what kind of media press credentials I can work myself into. And I think I filled out half the application, and then I was like, oh, whatever, I'm not going to do this. And then I think a couple days before the game, they emailed me back and they're like, hey, we have some extra room. Like, you didn't finish your thing. Like, just go ahead and finish it. And we'll shoot you. We'll put you on the list and everything. So I had, I have it's in my wallet somewhere, but I have like a little like business card, and it says Gordon Wilson, Cold Sea Productions, Orange Bowl, A&M versus Miami. And they gave me my own spot in the press box right behind Gabe and Olin from TexAgs. So I think they had like little like windows like set up like in between all the tables. So I like knocked on it, and I was like, dude, like check that out. I was like showing them the name. But no, and like kind of like that, I only thought about doing that because when Manziel was in the, I don't know if y'all remember like the spring league, maybe like it was like 6 years ago. There was like this little practice league, and they were doing it in Round Rock, and it was like a 4-game league or something. It was a big deal for him coming back, and I lived about 45 minutes away. So me and my buddy, drove down like on a day they were practicing. We brought a microphone, just a random microphone. We stuffed the cord in our pants, and we brought a notebook, and we were gonna go like up to Manziel and interview him. And we're on the practice field. We're the only people there, like media-wise.
Yeah.
And he, some guy came up to us and he was like, "Hey, what are y'all doing? Like, you can't be here." And I was like, No. We're with the Austin Statesman newspaper. Like he was like, oh, my bad, dude.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, you know what? Here's my contact. If y'all want to come to the game next week, we'll get y'all the press box. We'll give you everything. And we ended up going back, and man, there were 2 games that day, and we got there for the first one. We had our own spot in the press box, and it's all these people, all these real media, like the radio people. There's some like ESPN local news, and they've got their computers, their monitors up, and I have my Spanish 2 notebook with all my, verbs, nosotros. I wasn't very good at Spanish, but we were sitting there for about the first half of the first game, and this lady comes up to us, and she was like, "Hey, what did Paul tell y'all to, like, focus on for this game? Like, who did he want you to focus on?" And I have no idea who this lady or Paul is. And I was like, I had this roster in front of me. I was like, "Oh, I think we're going to focus on number 14 this game." And she was like, "That's not what Paul told me." I was like, "Why'd you ask?" And then she was like, "Do you even work with the newspaper?" And everyone in the press box is just like turning around looking at us. And we just said, "Nope," got out of there, but we kept the pass.
Oh my God.
So later that night, it was Manziel's game. I showed it to like the little on-field security guy, got on. Manziel's walking off, gave him a little dap up real fast, quick little photo.
Oh my God.
Just fake it till you make it. So that's the lesson of the story, I guess. It always works out. It doesn't hurt to try. So.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we've got a little bonus question for you.
Okay.
You've done a lot of cool things in your time here at A&M, but arguably one of the coolest from a fan perspective was seeing you on the College Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that experience.
It was, it's very random that happened, but I just came home from school one day in November. They had College Week on. They said if you wanted to be on, just apply. And I just applied. A week later, I got a phone call, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but it was cool. I didn't find out I was going to be on until like 2 months after I applied, like 10 days before we actually shot it. So I had to fly out there real fast. It was a pretty cool experience. There were like 18 total kids from all these different schools. It was like Harvard. There was like a Stanford kid, a bunch of UCLA, and then little old
Harvard
me.
of the South.
Yeah. But no, it was really cool. I met some friends there. We stay in contact every once in a while, but being on the show, I don't really get nervous that often, but like when you're on the stage and when you see it on TV and then you're there and there's like 200 people in the crowd, my leg was like kind of shaking like right before I like couldn't control it, and then I solved like the first 2 puzzles and I was like, oh, like whatever, it's just another day,
Yeah.
Like, so it was really cool. It second place isn't all that bad, I would say.
Yeah.
The couple grand I was able to take home, it's pretty nice, and like people are impressed by that. And then I tell them that the first place person got like $32,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
that kind of hurt after.
if you watch it, I got robbed. I mean, it was, but I think anyone would say that if they got second place too. So, yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, make sure to check out Cold Chedda on YouTube and all of his other socials. That's your guy right here. Thanks for watching.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Students.
Students who?
Students who go to A&M get free TexAgs Freemium. Hey, y'all. We're talking Aggie soccer here with Kylie Stoner. The Aggies tied the Fish Camp game at Ellis with Baylor. The main storyline was the Aggies outshot them 22-5. But I believe only 6 of those shots were on target. So take us through, was it more so the quality of the shots weren't there? Were they on a whim or just shots not going in?
It was a mix, I'd say. So, 22 shots. A lot of them were 6 inches outside of the post. The biggest thing for me is that the Aggies shot 22 times, but their one goal was on a PK. So it didn't even come off of one of their shots. But I think, they need to really work on their quality of shots for sure.
I have the number here, 6,743 fans were at that Fish Camp game. Just take us through, that was the second largest crowd at Ellis. Take us through what that environment was like.
It was crazy. It was also the 9th largest in NCAA history for soccer.
Wow.
But Coach G said after the game that the venue only seats 2,500.
Okay.
So they were standing for sure.
Yeah.
It was packed. It started filling in. I got there hour before, and the line to get in was insane. And I was like, oh no, I can't get in.
That's
But
quite the
that it was
crowd.
good. It was good. Yeah, it was loud. The corner kicks were crazy because they bang on the wall for it. But yeah, it was a great crowd. It would have been a better show for the crowd if there was a win for the Aggies, but wasn't a loss.
That's
Very
good.
true.
So, should we at all be concerned that the Aggies haven't been able to pull out a win yet at home after 3 home games?
I would say so. Because Baylor in a ranking from last season was like 190, and we're like 42 or 43. So or Aggies are 42 or 43. So I think it's a slight concern for A&M soccer that they haven't pulled out a win at home. They still have this game against Tulsa, so hopefully.
Pull it out there. Yeah, like you said, home game against Tulsa. That will be Thursday at 7 p.m. and then travel to TCU. If you could just break down these opponents a little bit, and then do you expect the Aggies to find their first win this weekend?
So for Tulsa, the Aggies have played them 4 times in their history, won all 4.
Okay.
I would say that the Aggies should win that game.
Mm-hmm.
In the same ranking with Baylor, Tulsa is ranked above Baylor.
Okay.
But I don't know. I feel like it's the difference in the opponents Tulsa and Baylor has faced.
Yeah.
So I would lean more towards in the Aggies' favor for winning this game against Tulsa. For TCU, first road game, Aggies have played them 15 times, won 13, lost 2, and we lost the recent 2.
Okay.
So 21 and 22. And then A&M has beat them. The highest margin is 6-0, but that was in 2003. Every year it goes down a little bit. But A&M has scored in every game they've ever played against TCU.
Okay.
So TCU just lost their star forward. She plays for the Orlando Pride in the NWSL now, Messiah Bright. She was great. She's doing really good pro too. But I would say that it's going to be a harder game for sure, but I would assume A&M can hold their own in that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Coach G said, too, Tulsa is his alma mater. So I would think he would have a little vengeance, just to – also said they go by TU. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Do.
So the kid go for the beat the hell out of TU. So we hope to see Aggie soccer beat the hell out of TU and then beat the hell out of TCU also this weekend. Big shout out to Kylie for joining us. Make sure to pack Ellis this Thursday when they take on Tulsa.
Yeah, big weekend on the road for Aggie Volleyball, but when they get back in town, you know what to do. Make sure to pack Reed. Let's hear from Kennedy Cavin on why you should.
All right, we are back with Miss Kennedy Cavin. Volleyball is now 2-0, and you are our volleyball student reporter. So had a pretty good weekend against 2 NCAA tournament teams in Omaha and Pepperdine. Can you just tell us a little bit about how the weekend went? And you have to feel good about the start of the season, right?
Yeah, offense was kind of the overpowering point of this weekend for the girls. I don't remember the exact percentage. I think they hit a 420 on against Pepperdine, which is just incredible. Much larger numbers than last year. Obviously, the offense they've done something different. Coach Morrison has come in and done something different with them to make them kind of more of a statement piece than just there in the game.
Nice.
So we saw her last year, but Caroline Muth led Friday's match with 17 kills. How do you think she's going to improve this year?
Caroline last year, like you said, she was, if not the only one of the most dominant people on that court, obviously next to Logan Lednicki. But I think that she's going to be just as dominant. I mean, she's coming back. She has however many years under her belt. She has 1 year under her belt at A&M and however many at Notre Dame. So I'm fully confident that she's going to lead the offense like she did this past weekend. If you've seen her in person play, it's just there's a different tempo to her than there is to really anybody else on either side of the court, A&M included. She's incredible at what she does.
Moving on to Saturday, got a sweep against Pepperdine, an NCAA tournament team last year. I mean, you have to feel pretty good about starting your season that way, right?
Yeah, I think this year versus last year, I feel a lot more confident in who they are as a team. I think all the pieces are coming together much earlier than they did last year. I think the defense is starting to click. I think offense is obviously together and good. But I feel good. I think after this weekend we'll see kind of more of who they actually are, what's going on. Their next tournament. Kind of what they'll be actually, just because it'll be more than just 2 games under the belt, and then we'll come back to Reed Arena and see, I guess, in front of the 12th man how they perform.
Yeah, so this weekend, Wright State, Bowling Green, and Loyola Chicago are all teams who made it to the first round of the NCAA tournament last year. What are your expectations for the Hampton Inn Invitational?
Well, winning probably is the only answer to that. Yeah. But I would just expect them to kind of keep their offensive groove going on. And, I mean, really, that's all. Defense, too. Defense wins championships. I mean, how many sports can you say that about?
A lot.
Every single one of them, basically. Yeah. Same goes for volleyball. Defense, I think, is starting to click, not as much as offense is, but I think seeing everything come together is what's going to make the team kind of excel for it. And I hope it's a 3-0 weekend for them, too.
I hope so, too.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about parking ticket.
Yeah, so not on the topic of volleyball. This week, I was walking to my garage after one of my classes, my English class. Mm-hmm. And
Kennedy goes to class, by the way.
I go to class, everyone. But I walk into the garage, and my car's, she's all cute sitting there, and there's 4 parking attendants just, surrounding my car. I walk out, I'm like, hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey, let's not.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, are you Kennedy? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And apparently I was parked in a reserved tow-away zone. And the owner of the spot wanted me to be ticketed and to have my car removed. Yikes. So I walked up as the tow truck was entering the garage, which was fantastic timing on my part. Still got a ticket, but
hey, at least you got to it.
I feel like that's kind of like an honor at A&M almost.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting your first ticket.
I have it, yeah.
Your first parking ticket.
Are you
at
even
A&M?
a student if you didn't
Yeah.
get a parking ticket?
If you haven't gotten a parking ticket at A&M, I just got mine first one yesterday.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's really an honor to be a part of the club.
Yeah, well, speaking of a club you want to be a part of, how about supporting Aggie Volleyball? They've got the Hampton Inn Invitational this week, so stay tuned for updates on that. And thank you so much for sitting down with us, Kennedy, Cavin. That'll do it for this episode of From the East Side. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure to check us out on social media, and let's go beat the hell out of New Mexico.
You can catch us next time from the East Side.